You know, sometimes I have a hard time justifying ordering something I need from my Jeep here in Canada when I gotta buy it from the United States. Because once it comes landed to me, I'm sometimes paying double the price. When I look at some product, I think to myself, hey, you know what? I can build that. So today is DIY day, so stick around. Hi everyone, Cappy here, 410 Expedition. Today is DIY day. One of the things I've always wanted for my Jeep is the propane mount right here on the back corner. But when I look online and when I go to order it, landed to me is about $300 US. That's ridiculous for aluminum. So, with some measurements and my good friends over at Quest Fabrication, I gave them the measurements of what I needed and they built me some brackets. The brackets, the two pieces I need to mount here, and then the propane bottle, $68 Canadian. You do the math. The rest of the stuff, I just went to Home Depot and bought some nuts and bolts and everything I need to mount everything here. So let me show you the list of materials that I got. So here is the bracket that I had made specifically for my 10-pound bottle. Very simple. They bent it. They did some spot welding for me. They did a fantastic job. All you got to do is take your bottle, take some cardboard, and make yourself a template. Let me show you that template. So here's the template that I went in with. So I have 1/8 aluminum is what I asked for. So I gave them the dimensions of what I needed. So when I had it all bent over, they knew exactly what I needed and gave me some spot welds. The corner bracket was super simple. And what they did is they measured it and they gave me a 72-degree angle is what I need for it to mount in the corner. Got some rubbers so that the propane bottle doesn't rub against the bracket. And then I've got all the nuts and bolts I have. This is neat. These I found at Home Depot. They're an expandable rubber nut. So when I drill to the back of the JK into the hardtop, this will expand. When the nut goes in, it'll pull. When the bolt goes in, the nut's gonna suck up and it's gonna squish and give it a good seal. So the idea is this guy here is going to get mounted right like so, and then the propane mount will get mounted like so. So first let's start marking where I need to drill the holes into the plates and into the hardtop. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to give the back corner a good wash because it is a little dirty, the Jeep. It's been -30, so not ideal to wash a vehicle in that extreme cold. Now what I want to make sure that I do is I follow this line here of the hardtop and get myself right in the middle between this channel, because I'm going to drill the hole into the hardtop first, and then from the inside I'll mark where I need to be exactly for the bracket. I want to make sure that I'm drilling in the right spot first through the hardtop and not through the bracket and I'm hitting something that won't work. So do that first and mark from the inside. Go first and then get the right size you need for your bolt.
Once the holes were put into the hardtop, I could then see the aluminum from the inside. So I took my marker and made my indicators on where I was going to drill into the aluminum plate.
Okay, so now I just did a dry fit to make sure that it is going to work. Now I'm going to put a nut in between the bracket and the hard top because I need to space this out a little bit to give it that angle so that I'm back in line with this line back here on the hard top. So it's coming together nicely with some rubber gaskets in between everything so I get no leaks. So now with these rubber plugs, I'm going to find the 2 locations to mount one here and one mount down here, and then bolt it in. And as I bolt it in, it's going to expand, like I said, the rubber, and it's going to create that seal and that compression so the bolt won't pull out.
Always take your time when drilling holes into your hardtop because you only get one chance.
Now when drilling in this backside, you got to be careful because you've got some electrical back here from your from your defrost and your wiper blade, your rear one. So just be careful when you're going through back in here. This side, no problem, there's nothing, it's all blank. But this side here, and that's why I needed those plugs because I don't want to be going through, 2 inches of thickness with this fiberglass and then the other side fiberglass, and that's about that thick. So I didn't want to drill 4 holes, I just wanted to drill the 2 and seal it. Now before I continue on, I need to mount the bracket on here before I finalize because I need to get access for the bolts and everything on the back side here. So let's get that done now. So what I do plan on doing is putting 4 bolts with some nuts with the lock nuts is what I want to do. But in between the 2 brackets, I'm going to have a rubber washer. I don't want that noise or that friction. I want it to be like an isolator. So I'm doing that. Next I'm going to do is I'm going to install these grommets here, kind of like they're heavy duty pads. And what I want to do is bolt them on so that the propane bottle won't give friction against the aluminum either. It's going to have a nice rubber tight seal. So let's figure that out first. Now my plan is to put one on each side like this here, maybe in the middle, one on the back side here, and one on the side here, and probably one on the bottom so that when the bottle is in, it will lock it into place so it won't slide out on the bottom. Now this one here is going to have to drill through both of them, that one and this bracket with the washer right in the middle. What I did now is when the bracket's mounted, I want to make sure that the propane bottle is level with the ground. So I put a bolt in the middle here to use as my pivoting point, mounted it, dry mounted it, put it on, put a level, so now I know the angle, and I've marked my 4 holes to do all 4 bolt points. Then I can remove this centerpiece and put this rubber back in the middle. Okay, so now I've got my lock nuts, my flat. I wanted to do something as flat as I could to go on the back side so it doesn't rub against the hard top. Seal in between the JK bracket and the propane bracket, a gasket, so there'll be no rubbing. This is the tricky part. Not gonna lie. That's looking really good. I am really pleased with this so far. With the aluminum is when I bolt everything down, everything's gonna start to shape, like warp around. That's why it's soft, right? It's easier to work with. So now, gear straps, hose clamps to clamp the bottle onto here. Then I gotta figure out that sweet spot right here to put one of these rubbers right here so that when the bottle, the foot of the bottle won't slide out at the bottom. Maybe I don't even need to do that, but I just wanna check. But I can also get some automotive fender kind of like seal and do the whole underside so it's all rubber along the bottom of the bottle. But for right now, that's what I got. Yeah! Here you go. Propane bottle bracket mount. All in $68 Canadian for the aluminum to be cut, bent, and spot welded for me. Home Depot bits here and there. I don't know, maybe $45. The bugger was the straps. That took a bit of jigging around, but you know what? I've got it in there now, and time to mount it onto the JK and get a bottle in there. See how it fits. Oh my God, I hope it fits good. Let's do this. It's always a good idea to just dry fit everything first. Keep everything nice and loose, and then tighten down as needed. Something is super tight. This is a bit of a struggle. She's a super tight fit. I mean, super tight fit. Oh, that's nice and snug. Well, that's it. My DIY propane bracket and holder for the 410 JKU. This thing is not going anywhere. Super stoked. Hey, listen, if you like watching these DIYs, please subscribe at our channel, hit that notification bell, and you know what? We love showing you guys some builds, and keep putting those comments down below. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Have a great rest of your week. Check you out on the trails. See you out on the trails.